Sponsored in part by Wormsway.com, hydroponics and organics, indoor and outdoor gardening. Garden anywhere, garden anytime. Stores conveniently located in Tampa, Florida, Erlanger, Kentucky, St. Louis, Missouri, Bloomington, Indiana,
Sutton, Massachusetts,
Nashville, Tennessee, and always at Wormsway.com.
Welcome to Growing Indoors. I'm Holly Baird.
And I'm Joey Baird. And today we're going to tell you about what happened to the pepper plant that we planted a couple weeks ago in our hydroponic system. Basically, bad water and a hydroponic system equals a dead pepper. And we'll explain that here.
Well, we had used well water, and our well water is unfortunately high in iron. So what we decided to do is we decided to actually try a method where we took some snow, or actually a decent amount of snow because we are surrounded by snow right now. We let it melt down, and then
what we do is we filter it through a funnel. Even though we get as clean as snow as possible after a snowfall, there is some dirt particles that acquire into the snow. Filter in our gallon jug here, and then just sort it out in our half-gallon mason jars. But we couldn't figure out what was wrong because we did the everything right with the hydroponic system, and the plant would begin to get yellow and leaves begin to fall off, and then it died. Well, after we discussed it with several experts in the field, it was because we had, again, high iron in our well water. Now, not all well water is high iron, so you want to be careful with this. Now, if you don't have snow in your area, what's another way that you can get water, Holly?
There's an additional nutrient you can add to your water if it is high in iron that you can purchase from your local hydroponics shop
or
Wormsway. Otherwise, you would have to get some sort of reverse osmosis water to put your plants in. Now that we've done that, when we tested our pH after we added our nutrients, it was nice and neutral, exactly what we needed. In the first video,
if you remember in the first video when we tested the pH, when we used our well water, it was completely off the charts.
So when we tested it, it was in yellow after we added the snow water and added our nutrients. In the previous video, I think it was green, right?
It was green, and then which we'll have all the previous videos of the materials we're using, how we started the seeds, and the progression of where we're at now, all in the show notes, so you can catch up to where we are in the series. But with the snow water, or the melted snow, it was pure. It was exactly the pH level we needed. We added our nutrients. And as you can see, Mr. Pepper Plant is actually a happy pepper plant.
He's doing quite well, and he's got a really good root system as well.
And we noticed with our well water around our ring had a very dense layer of, I guess would be calcium or hard water.
You could tell it had that white powdery stuff on it.
With the snow, it is absolutely fine. So, we didn't do anything wrong, but also we wasn't knowledgeable enough to understand that there was other minerals in the well water that greatly hurt our pepper plant, because unlike soil, if you have a lot of iron in your water, there's a lot of microbial bacteria, a lot of nutrients in the soil already to where
it filters through.
But when you're in a hydroponic system, the water is the soil, is the life, and that's where we ran into problems with. So with that being said, everything's happy with that pepper plant as well as the other pepper plant that we've got growing. So let's take a look at our green beans, because that's something that we're excited about. With our green beans, these are just traditional bush green beans. Now, again, you see some yellowing of the leaves here. Now, we are contributing that again to the iron in our well water because we were just adding our well water with the nutrients that was required in our coco coir.
So now when we do our next nutrient feeding, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the snow water.
Now, you might be thinking, well, it's not hydroponics. Why would it be altering the plant? Well, coco coir is a neutral base. There's no nutrients that is in it. The nutrients that is in it is the nutrients you add to it. So when you've got a high level of iron in your water, that absorbs into the coco coir and the plants suck it up, and that's partially the reason why we have a lot of yellowing, not only on our beans, but as well as our zucchini and our cucumber plants as well. But we do have some harvesting that we're going to take place. Now, it's not a ton of harvesting, but it is something. We've got one very nice green bean here that we're going to take, we're going to break in half, and we're going to see if the taste of a hydroponic or a coco coir green bean is the same as you would if you grew it in the traditional ground. So I don't see anything different with the taste
Tastes just
as good as it would be in the ground. Now, obviously, we don't have a ton of green beans here, but we know that it will work and work very successfully with that. So we do have some more blooms. We did lose a plant in here where, if you remember in the previous couple of videos, we had 5 plants, but when we went through the whole iron in the water, we actually lost the weakest of the plant. The weakest plant died, so we only have 4 now. Now these leaves will die off and fall off, and when we do our feeding, we'll strictly use snow water, which has a very pure water base in it. So that was very successful, as well as our tomatoes are looking very incredible. After every nutrient feed that you do, you will see the plants really just shoot up in the next 24 to 48 hours. So we're really excited about that.
So it's definitely something to think about. If something's not going well, think about what you're adding to your system. Is it the water? Is it the nutrients? Is it something you're missing? Something maybe that you're adding too much of? In our case, it was the water.
And if you don't know, ask somebody so you can grow healthy food and you can grow successfully indoors. I'm Joey Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
This has been Growing Indoors, and we'll see you next time.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.